The escape plan was ready, but the camp commander was watching every move. The note left for Heinrich said only one thing: "You are no longer safe." One wrong step, and everything would be over. But Heinrich couldn't stop now, not when lives depended on him. Previously on Buried Stories, Lieutenant Heinrich Falk arrived at the concentration camp as a German officer, but beneath his uniform, a different man was hiding. Every night, he secretly helped Jewish prisoners survive. An old man named David, a young girl named Leah. They didn't know his face, but they felt his presence. But shadows have eyes, and someone was watching. A mysterious voice emerged from the darkness. "Officer Falk, what are you hiding?" Now, the danger is closer than ever. Days passed. Heinrich's secret mission continued. He was no longer helping just a few people. Now he was regularly delivering food and medicine to the camp's most vulnerable: children, the elderly, the sick, those who had been abandoned by hope itself. The prisoners never saw his face clearly. He moved like a ghost through the darkness. But they felt his presence. They knew someone was watching over them. Whispers spread through the barracks. "The shadow came again last night. My son got medicine. He's getting stronger. Who is he? Why does he help us?" No one had answers, but for the first time in months, they had hope. One night, Heinrich did something more dangerous than ever before. He entered the barracks. The door creaked. Prisoners froze in their bunks. Fear filled the air like poison. A German officer inside the barracks at night meant only one thing: death. Leah saw him first. Her eyes widened in terror. She stumbled backward, pressing herself against the wooden wall. "Leah, are you here to kill us?" Her voice trembled. Tears were already forming in her eyes. Heinrich removed his cap. He spoke softly, barely above a whisper. "Heinrich, no, I'm not here for you. I'm here for those who want you to hate." Leah stared at him. Confusion replaced fear. She didn't understand. "Heinrich, I'm here to help, but I need you to trust me." "Leah, trust you. You wear their uniform. You are one of them." "Heinrich, this uniform is my prison, just like these walls are yours." A long silence. Leah's breathing slowed. Something in his eyes, something human, made her want to believe. Heinrich moved deeper into the barracks. David was waiting in the shadows, his frail body wrapped in a thin blanket. "David, you came back. I didn't think you would." "Heinrich, I made a promise. I intend to keep it." Heinrich pulled out folded papers from inside his coat. Maps, documents, lists. He spread them on the wooden floor, illuminated only by a sliver of moonlight through the cracks. "Heinrich, listen carefully. Tomorrow, a medical shipment arrives at the camp. The transport lists will be modified. You will be marked as lost due to illness." David studied the papers. His hands were shaking. "David, you're going to smuggle us out? In a medical transport?" "Heinrich, 3 of you, hidden among the supplies. By the time they notice, you'll be far from here." Leah stepped closer, her fear slowly transforming into desperate hope. "Leah, is this real? Can we actually escape?" "Heinrich, it's dangerous. If we're caught, there's no second chance for any of us." David looked up at Heinrich. His old eyes were filled with something Heinrich hadn't seen in this camp before: gratitude mixed with sorrow. "David, if you do this, you will die. They will find out. They always do." "Heinrich, perhaps, but standing by and watching, that's worse than death." Miles away, in the camp's administrative building, Oberst Mertens was not sleeping. He sat behind his desk, documents scattered before him. His eyes scanned the pages with predatory focus. Something was wrong. He could feel it. "Mertens, these numbers, they don't add up." He called for his aide. A young officer rushed in, standing at rigid attention. Mertens, the medical shipment records from last month. Bring them to me. All of them. Aide. Yes, Herr Oberst. Immediately. The aide disappeared. Mertens leaned back in his chair, his fingers drumming on the desk. The rumors about a shadow helping prisoners. At first, he had dismissed them as desperate fantasy, prisoners clinging to false hope. Nothing more. But now, discrepancies in the records, missing supplies, unexplained survivors. Someone was playing games. And Mertens did not like games. The next morning, Mertens gathered his officers. The room was tense. Everyone could feel the commander's cold rage simmering beneath the surface. Mertens, there is a traitor among us. The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Mertens, someone has been falsifying records, diverting supplies, helping the prisoners. He paused, his eyes scanning each officer's face. Mertens, I will find this rat, and when I do, the punishment will be legendary. Heinrich stood among the officers. His face was stone. His heart was racing. Mertens, from this moment, every movement in this camp will be monitored, every shipment inspected, every officer watched. Mertens walked slowly down the line of officers. He stopped in front of Heinrich. For a long, terrible moment, their eyes met. Mertens, you've been here a few weeks now, Falk. What do you think? Can a man hide his true nature forever? Heinrich didn't blink. Heinrich. No, Herr Oberst. The truth always surfaces, eventually. Mertens smiled, a cold, reptilian smile. Mertens. Indeed it does, Falk. Indeed it does. He moved on. Heinrich exhaled slowly. The noose was tightening. That night, Heinrich moved through the shadows as usual. But something felt different. The air was heavier, the darkness deeper. He reached the usual spot behind the barracks. The package was in his hands. Food, medicine, hope. As he bent down to place it, he saw something on the ground, a crumpled piece of paper. He picked it up, unfolded it. The words were scrawled in desperate handwriting. They are watching you. You are no longer safe. Do not come back. Heinrich's blood ran cold. Someone knew. Someone had seen him. But who? A friend trying to warn him, or an enemy playing with his prey? He stood frozen, the note trembling in his hand. And then, footsteps, crunching through the snow, coming closer. Heinrich spun around. A figure emerged from the darkness, a German soldier, young, maybe 20 years old. In his hands, one of Heinrich's packages from a previous night. Soldier. I found this behind the barracks last week. I've been watching ever since. Heinrich's hand moved toward his sidearm. His mind raced through options. None of them good. Heinrich, what do you want? The soldier stepped closer. His face came into the moonlight. He looked conflicted, scared even. Soldier, I watched you, Lieutenant. Night after night, I saw what you do, who you help. Heinrich, then you know what happens next. You report me, I die. Is that what you want? A long pause. Snow fell silently between them. Soldier, my mother was half Jewish. She died before the war. No one knows. No one can ever know. Heinrich stared at him. Understanding dawned slowly. Soldier, I'm not your enemy, Lieutenant, but others are watching too. Mertens has spies everywhere. You need to be more careful. Or you need to stop. Heinrich, I can't stop, soldier. Then God help you. The soldier dropped the package at Heinrich's feet. He turned and walked back into the darkness. Heinrich stood alone. The snow kept falling, and somewhere in the distance, a searchlight swept across the camp like the eye of a hungry predator. The next day, the camp was assembled for morning roll call. Prisoners stood in rows, shivering in the cold. Guards walked between them, counting, always counting. Heinrich stood at his post, watching. His face betrayed nothing. And then, across the sea of striped uniforms, his eyes found Leah. She was looking directly at him. In her eyes he saw fear, desperation, but also something else, a question. "Will you save us?" Heinrich couldn't respond, couldn't move, couldn't even blink. But in that brief moment of connection, a silent promise passed between them. "I will try, even if it kills me." Mertens' voice cut through the cold air like a blade. "Mertens, the Reich demands discipline. The Reich demands loyalty. And soon, the Reich will demand blood." The prisoners trembled. Heinrich's jaw tightened. Time was running out. The next day, the camp was assembled for morning roll call. Prisoners stood in rows, shivering in the cold. Guards walked between them, counting, always counting. Heinrich stood at his post, watching. His face betrayed nothing. And then, across the sea of striped uniforms, his eyes found Leah. She was looking directly at him. In her eyes he saw fear, desperation, but also something else, a question. "Will you save us?" Heinrich couldn't respond, couldn't move, couldn't even blink. But in that brief moment of connection, a silent promise passed between them. "I will try, even if it kills me." Mertens' voice cut through the cold air like a blade. "Mertens, the Reich demands discipline. The Reich demands loyalty. And soon, the Reich will demand blood." The prisoners trembled. Heinrich's jaw tightened. Time was running out. That night, Heinrich finalized the plan. Tomorrow, the medical transport would arrive. 3 prisoners would disappear: David, Leah, and a young boy whose parents had already perished. It was risky. Beyond risky. It was almost certainly suicide. But Heinrich had made his choice long ago, the moment he first saw the truth behind the propaganda, the moment he looked into the eyes of the innocent and saw his own humanity reflected back. There was no turning back now. He burned the plans, destroyed the evidence, said a silent prayer to a God he wasn't sure, still listened. Tomorrow, everything would change. Heinrich Falk stood at the edge of the abyss. Behind him, a life of lies, wearing the uniform of monsters. Ahead of him, almost certain death, but also the chance to save 3 innocent souls. The escape was planned. The pieces were in place. But Mertens was closing in. Spies lurked in every shadow, and one mistake, one single mistake, would destroy everything. In the darkness, a light had been lit, but darkness has a way of swallowing light. Would Heinrich's flame survive the night? Heinrich Falk's most dangerous night is coming. In the final episode, the escape begins, betrayal strikes, and Heinrich faces his ultimate choice: save himself or save those who cannot save themselves. The conclusion of The Officer in the Shadows will leave you speechless. Subscribe and turn on notifications. The finale drops soon. To be continued.